In the module dealing with the organizational development and change, you shall be able to learn number one, define the prevalence of the change in the organization, describe what is strategic planning and explain the types of strategic changes that organization makes, identify the steps in the strategic planning process involved, know why people are resistant to change often and how this resistance can be overcome by the people with the efforts. And finally, in this module, you will apply major organization development techniques that can be used as on today in the organization. Carl Levin is widely recognized as the founding father of organization development, although he died before the concept became current in the middle 1950s. From Levin's came the ideas of group dynamics and action research, which underpin the OD process as well as providing its collaborative consultant-client ethos. Institutionally, Levin founded the Research Center for the Group Dynamics, widely known as RGD, at MIT, which moved to Michigan after the death of Carl Levin. RCGD colleagues were among those who founded the National Training Laboratory known as NTL, from which the T groups and the group-based organization development emerged. Carl Levin played a key role in the evolution of organization development as it is known in today's time. Douglas McGuire and Richard Bachardt, while consulting together at General Mills in the 1950s, the two coined the term organization development (OD) to describe an innovative bottom-up change effort that fit no traditional consulting categories known as on today. Organization changes can be seen everywhere in each and every corner of the world. The collaborative and mergers as well as entrance of new MNC companies, multinational companies known as, are changing the total scenario of the organizations. The business world is not as same as it was earlier. For example, auto industry is going through with several mergers such as Volvo merged with Ford. Chrysler merged with Daimler Benz. The banking industry is also changing a lot. Almost every small bank has been gobbled up by a large bank of recent years. The world is changing and those companies that fails to change, which requires funds, themselves out of the business as a result. Organization changes refers to planned or unplanned transformation of an organizational structures, technology, and for people. To understand this important process, we will examine it from several key perspectives in this very module.
Organizational changes refer to planned or unplanned transformations in an organization's structure, technology, and for people. To understand this important process, we will examine it from several key perspectives. Relevance of change in organizations. Why do organizations change? The understanding of this question will help us in understanding prevalence of change in organizations. What is organizational change? It is a process in which an organization optimizes performance as it works toward becoming an ideal state. Why does an organizational need organizational change? Jones 2004. From a passive perspective, an organization change occurs as a reaction to an ever-changing environment or as a response to its current crisis situation. On the other hand, A more proactive viewpoint is that it is triggered by a progressive manager. Furthermore, organizational change is especially evident when the organization has just undergone a transfer of executive power. Haveman, Russo, and Mayer, 2001. Those organizations where senior managers are willing to change become more successful. Smith, D. 1998. Change occurs in two fragments. One is the first order change and another is second order change. First order change. In organization, changes occur either minor or major. Change that is continuous in nature and involves no major shifts in the way an organization operates is known as first order change. Example: continuous increments in the salaries of employees make changes in the organization. Second order change. Second order change involves radical change, major shifts involving many different levels of organization and many different aspects of business. Second order planned change, definition and conceptualization, organizational dynamics. Forces for change. The complexity of events and the rapidity of change are increasing. It is difficult to predict what type of pressure for change are increasing. It is difficult to predict what type of pressure for change will be most significant in the next decade. The four areas in which pressures for change appear most powerful involve people, technology and information processing, and communication and competitions. Organizational change are required at three places: structure, technology, and people. The change in any one of the areas may necessitate changes in the others. As shown in Figure 1, three steps involved in the process of changing people unfreezing is the first step. At this stage, management need to identify that the present behavior of people in the organizational environment is not desirable. They recognize the current state of affairs. The changes can be due to serious financial crisis, strike, or a major lawsuit. Sometimes people create a sense of urgency that a change is required. They introduce the idea that there is an impending crisis, although conditions are in reality currently acceptable. This approach is known as doomsday management. This process helps in effectively unfreezing people, stimulating change before it's too late to do any good. Changing may occur after unfreezing. This step occurs when some planned attempts is made to create a more desirable state for the organization and its members. The changes could be major, such as restructuring, or minor, such as a change in a training program. The final stage is refreezing. It occurs when the changes made are incorporated into the employee's thinking and the organization's operations, so that people can adopt new ways of thinking and attitude towards the things and can give changed dimensions to the original system. Change in people. The effectiveness of organization is extremely dependent on the behavior performance of the people working within them. People have so many excuses for coming late is an example of the attitudinal behavior of the people. The process of changing people is not easy. Change in structure. Changes in the organizational structure incorporate modifying rules, responsibilities, and procedures. Changing the organization from a decentralized to a centralization one is the way by which changes are implemented in an effective way in response to a problem. Major structural changes can be done by creating more departments, altering the number of employees, reducing the number of supervisors. Other simpler changes could be changing someone's job description or the written procedures and policies. change in technology. The widespread of information technology is one of the major behind the changes in the organizations. The latest technologies reduce time and dissolve distances. Nowadays, e-business, e-commerce, finance becomes the common things. Internet reduce the expanses behind the exchanges of information within as well as outside the organization. Suppliers are hooked up to computer-based networks called intrants to accelerate just-in-time delivery of goods. The emerging computer technologies have introduced tremendous opportunities for business because of things corporate leaders rethink about the changing needs for competencies and expectations. It facilitates knowledge management and telecommuting. Forces behind unplanned organizational change. Organizations required to adapt the challenges thrown up by technology and widely changing prepare strategies for changing, but sometimes the changes are sudden. Such changes are due to the changes in demographic composition of the workforce, performance gaps, government regulations, and international competitions. The phenomena of unplanned change refers to shifts in organizational activities due to forces that are external in nature, those beyond an organizational control. Shifting employee demographics. It is easy to see how, even within your own lifetime, the composition of workforce has changed. American workforce is now more highly diverse than ever. The people who are concerned with the long-term operation of organizations, these are not only sociological trends but shifting conditions that forces organizations to change. Performance gap. Performance gap refers to the gap between real and expected level of organizational performance. In response to the poor performance, organizations need to change. A performance gap is one of the key factors providing an impetus for original innovation. Government regulations. Policies produce prominent effects on the organizations and led them to change. These can be with regard to labor laws, wages, pollutions, union, etc. Global competition. The economic competition forces organizations to change effectively if they want to survive. Nowadays, organizations need to maintain their shares of market, advertise more effectively, and produce goods less expensively. Liberalization and globalization led to the competition comes from all over the world. Example, Japanese automobile companies are meeting the demands for small and good quality cars and lagging Americans behind in the competition. Similar to the field of electronic. Because of rapidly changing growth in globalization, only the most adaptive organizations can survive. Changing economic conditions. Sometimes, due to economic pressures and seasonal fluctuations in the business cycle, companies have to announce layoffs, whereas sometimes unforeseen situations produce changes in the company's economic growth. In another example, the terrorist attacks of September 11 led companies to cut costs. Several travel related companies cut costs. Several travel related companies, aerospace industries, airlines, and hotels confronted with big lose. Advances in technology. Companies come across with operational changes due to the advances in technology. Earlier, only pocket calculators were there, but the progressive advancement in the field of technology, nowadays people are having microcomputers, laptops. Technology has produced a remarkable change in the field of communication, reduced the time lag between the discharge of the message and receipt of the same message. Teleconferencing, virtual conferences taken away the barriers imposed by the distance in terms of space and time. Internal technology transformed the way many people work. High-tech business methods bring tremendous change in the organization. Strategic planning. Organizations mobilize themselves towards change to keep themselves fit in the rapidly growing and changing world. Some changes are unplanned, but most of the changes are made through strategic planning. Strategic planning is the process of formulating, implementing, and evaluating decisions that enables an organization to achieve its objectives. There are three fundamental assumptions about strategic plans. First, to compete with the new competitors and for the advance of organization, companies need to make radical changes in the organization, such as changing policies and nature of business, etc. For strategic planning, conscious decisions are made. Second, new strategies are needed when the companies feel difficulty as achieving the desired objectives. New strategies are formulated to turn things around. Third, new organizational objectives require new strategic plan. Various parts of the organization are all interdependent. The new strategic plan is likely to involve all functions and level of organization. Strategic planning process. The strategic planning process involves 10 steps. These steps tells about the way companies go about planning change strategically. First, define goals. To make financial gains, organizational culture, or environmental changes, organizations establish goals to achieve certain position in the product market. The company's overall objectives must be broken down into smaller goals to be achieved by organizational units. Example, organization has to launch a new product in the market. The targets have been set up for the Department of Product Development, Vendor Development, Purchase Department, Production Department, and Marketing Department. Second, defining scopes of product and services. For making an effective strategic plan, management should be very clear about the scope of the organization. That is, what is their present business and what they targeting to achieve, also if any new project in which they aim to participate. In the strategic planning organization, try to broaden its scope. Example, earlier the organization who is producing only a single product, such as all-purpose cream, now they are manufacturing more than one product. Full range of product for those who have wrinkles, eye blemishes, pimples, etc. Now they are producing a range for skin treatment. This is how they have broadened their scope. Third, assess internal resources. Organizational need resources for effectively implementing its strategies. Resources can be categorized in three groups: monetary resources, physical resources, and human resources. Example, knowledge, skills, and competencies. The availability of resources will take the strategic planning one step ahead. Fourth, assess the external environment. Organizational manufacture the product to sell in the external environment. Thus, external directly affect the growth and development of an organization. Similarly, whether has competitions have same resources or not. Resources cannot be imitated by others, play an important role in strategic planning. Fifth, analyze internal arrangements. Organization has analyzed its internal environment in order to prepare strategic planning. Organization must clearly knows whether it has an effective communication networks, whether the employees are enough motivated to accomplish organizational goals. They have to look about the style of leadership, coordination among employees and cooperation, etc. In short, organization has to check its internal environment for making strategic planning. Sixth, assess competitive advantage. When two companies manufacturing the same product, then the customer obviously go to one who provide better quality, reasonable price, company has a good image, reliable enough. The organization that wins the faith of his customer will have competitive advantage in the market. Seventh, develop a competitive strategy. Developing a competitive strategy is the way to achieve success for the organization. After doing the careful analysis of its resources and its competitive advantage, organizational leaders decide about how to achieve organizational goals. Some of the strategies used by the organizations are given in the table. 7. Resistance to change. People confronting with lot of problems in the present organizational system, but in spite of that they are afraid of changes. They fear that the change will make things even more worse, creates unwillingness to accept change. The process of organizational change should be implemented effectively and managed properly. The confidence of employees is must for making change. Organizational change is must for the survival of any organization, big or small. Therefore, they must know what are the barriers needed to be changed as well as how to handle those resistances. Individual resistance to change. Organizations recognized several resistances to change. First of all, one should know what is the meaning of resistance to change. It refers to the tendency for organizational employees to be unwilling to go along with organizational employees to be unwilling to go along with original changes, either because of individuals' fears of unknown or organizational impediments. There are several factors that make people resistant to change as described in the following section. Financial insecurity. People usually consider changes as threat to their jobs or result in a reduced pay. Fear of unknown. Employees do not like the disruption in their daily routines. They prefer to go by the same way at their jobs. It is rather difficult to prepare one's mind for unknown schedule. Threat to emotional attachment. In the organization, people develop certain emotional bonds with each other during a period of time. Those emotional bonds support them in various ways. Thus, change in organizational setup is considered as a threat to their emotional relationships. Change in habits. Change will definitely come along with several new tasks or sometimes with the new way of doing the same things. Usually, this happens with the implementation of information technology. People consider working on a computer will entirely change our ways of working. Tasks which were earlier done manually, now done with the help of computers. It will lead to a change in habits. Failure to recognize need for change. If employees themselves feel incompatible with the present situation, then they will be more willing to change. But first of all, they themselves should recognize the need for change. Attitude. People usually have negative attitude towards the change. Maybe later on they will adapt that change and admire that also. The negative attitude of people towards new things make them more resistant to change. Organizational barrier to change. Structural inertia. Organizations are meant to promote stability. Jobs have to follow a particular structure to perform a job. This will bring stability to the job design. Employees are given proper training on the job to perform them in a certain way. Thus, because job is designed in a way to promote stability, it becomes difficult to overcome the resistance created by the forces that create stability. Work group inertia. Group inertia refers to inertia to continue performing jobs in a specified way, comes not only from the jobs in a specified way, comes not only from the job themselves but also from the social group in which people work. Employees develop social norms within and among their groups. The change distort their normative expectations and make them resistant towards the change. Threat to existing balance of power. In organization, same units and subunit are more powerful in terms of resources, expertise, etc. as compared to others. Organizational change is a threat to such departments because of threat of losing power. Previously unsuccessful change efforts. It is a human nature that we avoid those situations in which we have faced traumatic, unpleasant, or undesirable experiences. Hence, organizations who have come across with an undesirable outcomes of organizational changes process found to be unwilling towards the change to a certain extent. How to overcome the resistance to organizational change. As we have discussed earlier that any organization which want to survive need change. Therefore, managers carefully consider the resistance to change and use several approaches to overcome them. Shape political dynamics or support of leadership. Employees rely on the vision of their leader. If they got to know that leaders are supporting the change, it will build a critical internal mass of support for change. Employees consider the change as a gateway to success. Identify and neutralize change resistors. In organization, changes are resisted because people express their fears publicly and organizational leaders do not respond to them effectively. They should identify and neutralize those who are resisting to change and then tactfully neutralize them with their statements. Those who are resistant to change do not communicate this attitude in the whole organization. It is generally not difficult to identify employees who are most resistant to change. The things they say give them away. Unless such statements are immediately countered, they run the risk of spreading resistance further throughout the company. Educate the workforce. Top management should be sensitive enough towards their emotions of its employees. Before implementing change, they should give proper information about why they are going for organizational change, how it will going to affect them. This type of information, when provided by the power holders, they take away the ears and threats of employees. Participation of the employees in change efforts. Participation in decision-making process make people more committed towards it. Similarly, those employees who are working as a team for unplanned change can better understand the requirement and effects of the change. Thus, top management should involve employees while planning for organizational change. Reward constructive behavior. Providing rewards and positive feedback for the desirable behavior is the oldest and most effective method for motivating people. Of course, people need to change their behavior according to the emerging demands produced by the process of organizational change. Thus, organizational leaders should encourage the employee desirable behavior through rewards and feedback. Develop a learning organization. Learning organizations are those organizations that are continuously changing, adapted towards each and every change. In other words, an organization that is successful at acquiring, cultivating, and applying knowledge that can be used to help it adapt to changes is known as learning organization. Example: Ford, General Electric, Walmart, Xerox, and Motorola. But becoming and learning organization, it is a simple thing. Only those who are well committed towards change, which have more flexible and an informal organizational structure without hierarchies, who can develop such organizational culture which promote the risk-taking behavior. Organizational developmental intervention. A planned process of organizational change requires the planning for how to effectively implement the changes in the organization. There are several techniques used by organizational leaders in order to implementing change in organization. It are collectively known as organizational development. Organizational development is emerged in 1940s and 1950s. They covered almost every aspect of organizational behavior as well as strategic and human resource management. Thus, organizational development, a set of social science techniques designed to plan change in organizational work setting for the purpose of enhancing the personal development of individual and improving the effectiveness of organizational functioning. OD intervention is used to produce macro level changes in entire organizations. Various types of sensitivity trainings are given during the session of OD. These are the form of sensitivity training. Sensitivity training is an unstructured and agenda-less session in which a small group of people meet face to face, often for a few days, to learn more about themselves and their relation with others and also receive feedback from others during the session. OD intervention are used to improve quality of services, corporate restructuring, and knowledge management. They are typically organization-wide, affecting organizational system and structures with less emphasis on individual emotions and values.
Summary. Organizational change is very prevalent and is occurring at a rapid pace. Almost all organizations are changing in one way or another in order to survive. Inevitable, those that fail to adapt failure to survive. The process of organizational change involves some combinations of changing organizational structures, technology, and people. Unplanned changes occur in organizations due to shifting employees, demographies, performance gaps, government regulations, economic competence in global arena, and advances in psychology of technology. Strategic planning is the process of formulating, implementing, and evaluating decisions that enable an organization to achieve its objectives in a best possible way. The strategic planning process follows 10 steps in a very systematic way in the organizational development. In general, people are resistant to change because of individual factors and organizational factors. However, resistance to change can be overcome in several ways by the organization. Several organizations' development techniques may enhance organizational functioning by involving employees in identifying and solving organizational problems.